my YouTube people. Thanks for coming back to see just what I do today. Hope you're having a great day and a good 4th of July, because that's when I'm filming this, so you might hear some fireworks in the background. We are outside doing another chore outside. Thought I'd bring you along, because this is going to be an entire series. But it's super warm today. Just got done making sure everybody has food and water. Mostly water. When it's super hot like this, that's the main thing, is make sure your animals have water. Because usually when it's hot out, they don't want to eat. So water is the main thing. Oliver likes to hide underneath, as you can see. Goofball. But I have this guy still separated. I'm not quite sure what to do with him yet. Haven't really come to a conclusion yet. I'm going to wait a bit, and then I'm going to try and stick him back in. And maybe he just had some horny goat moments or something. So I'll try and put him back in, and if everybody behaves, then I don't have to build another cage. I may anyways. I'm not sure yet. But I'm hoping he'll just quit and leave everybody alone. I don't know what the heck his problem was. So as you can see, everybody's super hot and lounging around. But everybody's got food. Everybody's got water. You see his food dish is completely full. Their auto feeders are full. Chickens' feeders are full. Everybody's got water. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. I almost said movie. Today, we are going to be starting a chicken series. I'm going to show you how to raise freezer camp birds when you can't find meat birds. Now, these chickens I hatched out a couple weeks ago. They are Phoenix's kids. So, first time having a rooster, so I thought I'd give this a go. Yes, they are not actual meat birds, they're dual purpose birds, but I'm going to be sending them to freezer camp. I'm going to show you how to do that when you can't find meat birds, because back in the day, they didn't have specific meat birds. They just went out, grabbed a chicken, and decided that's what they're having for dinner. So that's pretty much what I'm going to show you. Yes, it may take a little bit longer for them to come up to proper weight, but hey, when you can't find proper meat birds and you're trying to be self-sufficient and not have to go spending a whole lot of money to buy birds just to go in the freezer, you hatch out your own, and this is the way we're going to do it. So I've got 7 birds in the house. They're old enough to get out of the house because they're really starting to stink. I have a pop-up chicken tractor that we're going to set up. I've got an auto feeder, an auto water that will keep full. I've got a tarp to go over the top to make sure they have shade and shelter if it rains. Those 2 tarps are for a different project. But I've got anchors to anchor down the chicken tractor. Yeah, that's not all I'm going to use. I'm going to also get some bricks and stuff. But let me show you where we're going to be putting this. We go over here on the other side of my pile of hay. Yeah, it's not the greatest of hay, but it was free. Went and picked it up last week. It'll do its job, exactly what I need it to do. But on the other side of this fence, right here, is where we're going to set up the chicken tractor. Yes, it's movable, so I'll be able to move it like along the fence back there to kill some weeds, and along over there. And it's movable to help clean up and give them different areas to munch on and different things. Try and give them the happiest life possible before they go to freezer camp. Again, these are not meat birds. These are just dual purpose birds. It's going to take a bit longer, but hey, that's alright. I'll figure it out. And I will show you cleaning them too, as much as I can without getting demonetized anyways. So, let's stop rambling, pick up some stuff over here, and we'll set up our chicken tractor and get this rolling so they can get out of the house. Oh, that is not the hay I'm going to be using to put inside the chicken tractor. I have some really nice hay. Yes, that hay would work fine, but that is all for a different project over here. It was free, I don't care. Just had to go pick it up. Anyways, I've got some hay to go inside here for them to kick around and all that fun stuff. The only thing is they cannot have any scratch until they are almost a little over a month old, or their butts will explode. Did you know that about chickens? that if you give them any kind of grain before they're 7 weeks old at least, their butts will explode. They can't digest it, in other words. So let's stop rambling and move the hose, pick up the dog shampoo because I had to give a dog a bath, clean up this area a little bit, set up the tractor, and bring out the birds. So there is the mobile chicken tractor. This is called a Rural 365. I am not affiliated with them. I just thought I'd show you what I was using. It's a decent sized chicken tractor. It will hold more than 7 birds, but that's what's hatched out, so that's what we're going to use. Alright. Yeah. And it has 2 openings on the top, so we'll put the feeder on one side, water on the other. We're going to set some T-posts in there, wire them to the T-posts so they don't fall over, since they're auto waters. And as you can see, it is just a mesh top. That was the point of the tarp. We're going to put that over the top, so if it rains, or as you can see, not a bunch of shade at the moment, so they don't get too hot, we're going to put that tarp over the top. But we're going to make it to where it'd be easily movable too. I only got a small tarp from the dollar store, so that should be the perfect size for this chicken tractor. As you can see, it has 6 points to where it will anchor into the ground. And I'm also going to be using some bricks too to help anchor it, just to make sure that if the wind picks up, it doesn't go taking off. It has a support beam on the inside that I'm just going to lay a brick over, so that way it doesn't go tumbling in the wind, because we get some wicked winds once in a while. But yeah, it's not the levelest of ground, but as long as they don't get out and they're safe and nothing can get to them, it's fine. So I'm going to anchor this down, get these feeders in place, throw some hay in there, and we'll go get the birds and bring them outside for their first time. So I'm going to anchor this in place real quick. So there we go. We got that anchored in all the way around. And when I went to anchor it, I did pull it tight, so that way it's tight all the way around. So now let's get the T-posts out. I'll put the T-posts in to where the feeder and the water is going to be, and then we'll fill those up, throw some hay in here, and we'll see about putting the tarp over the top. So I'm going to do those things real quick, and I'll bring you back and show you the finished product before I go bringing out the birds. Well, I got it all set up and anchored. This one's the water. It is sitting up, so when they kick their stuff around, they don't get gunk in their water. They just hit that yellow thing, and that little bucket fills up with water. I'm gonna fill the whole thing up. Yeah, it's really close to the ground right now, but that's because they're small. When they get bigger, I'll flip that block, and it'll bring it up a bit so it doesn't get so much crap in it. Got the food one over here. The food one sits taller, so it's just going to have to peek out. The lid's over there, so it doesn't get all soggy if it rains. But they just go up in there and eat away. I got my bricks in the middle to make sure it can't go flying. So the only thing left to do is to fill the water, fill the feed, and throw in some hay. So let's throw in some hay real quick, and then we'll fill it and bring out the birds. I brought out a little bit more hay than I really needed, but that's okay. They'll kick it around, lay in it, crap in it. Now if I choose to move this, I can move this, or I can just leave it sitting here because it's got big enough holes to where I can just reach through and pull out the old stuff, put down new stuff. Or you can do the deep bedding method where you just put new over the top. I'm not a big fan of that. I think that's kind of nasty. It builds bacteria and bugs, so I'll probably just end up pulling it out if I decide to leave it here. But anyways, I've got the choice to leave it here or move it. But I think I may just leave it here. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see. So I'm going to fill the feeders, fill the water, and I'll show you bringing out the birds. So here are the 7 freezer camp birds. You can see they're fully feathered, so they're more than old enough to go outside now, so I don't have to worry about them getting cold at night or anything. Phoenix did make some really pretty kids, but these 7 are going straight to freezer camp. Whether they're roosters or hens, it doesn't matter. They're going to freezer camp. So, let me grab my gloves, because they are at the age where they tend to peck you a lot. And I'll set up the camera, and we'll start putting them in there. Yes, that wasn't enough food to fill that feeder. I've got some more food, I'll fill it later. I just wanted to put enough in there for them to get used to using it, because they'll probably make a big ass mess with it before they get used to, hey, there's always food there. Because I had an auto feeder in the house, and as you can see, they're out of water. That was on purpose, so they quickly learn how to use the water over here. So let me stop talking, set up the camera, and we'll put these 7 freezer camp birds in their new chicken tractor, where they'll stay until it's time to go to freezer camp. And I'll show you off and on raising them. So please subscribe, whack that like button if you want to learn how to raise freezer camp birds that aren't meat birds. So let's stop talking before they figure out how to get out and put them in their new home for about a month and a half-ish until they come up to weight. So here we go. As you can see, they've already figured out how to use the feeder. I have to keep an eye on them to make sure they know how to use the water, because this is a bit different from the one that was in the house. But they've got more than enough feed, more than enough water to last them a day or two. One thing with these type of feeders is do not hammer on the lid, because you'll have a bugger of a time getting them off. I made that mistake. Now the big dogs can't get on this side, so I don't have to worry about them peeing on them or messing with them. Only the little ones can get over here, but he's more like my chicken wrangler, and the pups. So I'm not worried about the dogs messing with them or anything, because I don't think they can. So the only thing that's left to do is put the tarp over the top to make sure that they have more than enough shade, and if it rains they don't end up soggy. So let me do that real quick and we'll close out this video. So I got that tarp over the top, and as you can see it is just big enough. I bungeed this side so it'd be easy to get in there to the feeders, tied down the other side to the stakes, and as you can see they are super happy pigging out on their food over there. I'll just have to come out and check on them, make sure that they're figuring out their water, make sure there's no escapees, which I don't think there will be escapees because I've got it pinned down all the way around and through the middle as you saw. But there we go. That's a simple and easy setup for freezer camp birds. I'm not going to call these meat birds. They are going to be meat birds, but they're not the actual meat birds. These are dual purpose birds that I'm raising for meat. I'm going to show you how easy it is to raise them regular chickens as meat birds if you can't find meat birds, or if you don't have the money to buy meat birds. Now, they are just eating meat bird feed. It's my chicken wrangler. Meat bird feed, which is high protein. I think it's like 23 or 25, something like that, which they will stay on until freezer camp time. Now I probably will add some wheat mill run, which helps fatten up birds, and it's not a whole lot of expensiveness to it. It's really something super simple to give your birds if you want to help them gain weight. But they've got food, they've got water, they've got shelter. They should be good until it's time for freezer camp. Please stay tuned. Subscribe to this video to see how to raise them, how simple it is to raise them for meat without actually having to go buy meat birds. So that's going to conclude this video. I hope you'll stay tuned to see how this all turns out. Please subscribe, whack the like button, all that fun stuff everybody asks you to do. Stay tuned to my mini farm. Got a lot going on still. And if there's enough time later in the year before it gets cold, I may do this again so we can have a full freezer full of chicken. Because the price of everything's going up, as usual. But yeah, so I think they're happy. They have plenty of room out here, so they should be happy and get them all fat and ready to go into freezer camp. So again, I hope you'll subscribe. Hope you have a great 4th of July, because that's when they came out. So we'll keep track of how long it takes for them to become up to weight. To come up to weight and be fat and healthy and ready to go into freezer camp. Now, I didn't go out and buy fireworks. With the price of fuel going up and the price of feed, my money goes to my animals to make sure they're fat and full. Everybody's full and happy. That's what all my money goes towards, because I'd rather them be full than have to shoot off fireworks. So, I hope you had a great 4th of July. We'll keep track of these birds, see how they're doing. Please whack the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on Just What I Do. Later, taters.